Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week, brought to you by La Valley Building Supply, as Newport kicks off to begin second half action, and once again bobbled by the Somersworth returner, and that ball is into the end zone for a touchback. So
that was lucky.
Yeah. In high school football, the touchback is kind of a welcomed thing for the kicking team.
That's true.
So not the best field position for Somersworth as they look to see if they can continue the momentum that they had briefly there in the first half, where they scored back-to-back touchdowns after stopping Newport and forcing them in the punt. But Newport did respond and head into the second half leading 35-12. Also noteworthy, men's definitely was being looked at over on the sideline during halftime. He did take some plays off during the first half, but as you can see, he's out there to start the second half as that carry goes to Mills, stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, saying this at halftime, Somersworth, the only chance really they have is to get into a shootout with Newport. They need to score on pretty much every single possession, because you got to think Newport offense is going to get on the field and score a couple more times. So you got to score. You got to be pretty much perfect for the rest of the game if you want any chance of winning this game. And the fact that Menz is questionable. He's not injured. He was on the sideline. They're watching him. But the more he runs and the more he gets hurt, and if he starts taking snaps off, this is he's their go-to guy, and that's going to be tough for Somersworth to recover.
And I think that's the big takeaway. We've seen Mills, number 44, make some big plays for Somersworth, but really it all falls on the shoulders of number 20, Menz. And if he can't stay in here for the majority.
He's the playmaker.
Yep.
He's the go-to guy. And if you take away one of their, it's like taking away either Wade or C.J. Lawrence for Newport. It just takes away a dynamic of your offense.
As Menz fumbles that one, the ball falls loose. Newport saying they have it there. I'll see if the officials agree, and it looks like they do. That's going to be Newport ball. So Menz showing a lot of guts as a senior captain, not going to let his coaches decide whether or not he's going to be playing this game, and he's staying in there, showing some guts, but fumbles on that play, and Newport coming away with a big turnover. And we saw what Newport did on the last turnover, converting that into a touchdown.
And this is great field position again, and you got to think he's got to be hurt. Menz has got to be hurt. He's got something's got to be wrong.
Still in the game on the defensive side for Somersworth.
And that's admirable for him to be in the game still. That's...
Oh, yeah. Senior captain potentially playing in his last football game ever.
It's impressive. You got to give hats off to him.
Nix gets the inside handoff, gets to the outside, scampering it up to the 10-yard line. Nice little trickery play there for Newport. Gets the ball to Nix, and Nix with a big gain on first down. 15
yards. That's pretty impressive.
But yeah, like you said, for Menz, definitely an admirable effort, staying in the game.
For sure.
Not going to let anybody take his helmet from him in what could be his last high school game. So big kudos to him. But Newport looking to make Somersworth pay for that turnover. McNamara now lined up in the shotgun. Hasn't done that too many times today. He's got Lawrence on his right and Wade on his left.
Next to him is Wade. And
got a man in motion. That's Nix. Takes the snap, hands it off to Wade. Wade thinks about going to the outside, does. Breaks one tackle. It's going to be a gain of about 4, maybe 5 yards on first down. So still, Wade making something out of nothing. That play could have easily been stopped behind the line of scrimmage, but shows some patience, a little skip move, and turns that into a gain of 5. So second down, maybe 5, 6 yards to go here.
9:47 on the clock, 35-12.
And of course, these runs are keeping the clock moving for Newport, which they like, as that handoff goes to Lawrence inside. Keeping his legs moving, gets another 2, maybe 3 yards, maybe 4 yards. That's going to bring up a third down and very short. So you kind of talked about it, Josh, the difference of their running styles. Wade being more of the finesse runner, kind of inside, outside, showing his footwork, whereas Lawrence can just kind of pound it up the middle, get those short yards plays. And
that's their strategy. That's what they do. And they're good at it. It makes Newport's offense less predictable.
Mm-hmm. Then you want to switch things up a little bit, run a little bit of trickery, and get the ball to Nix, number 80.
And they hand the ball off of the belly. CJ
And that's going to be to Lawrence, and that's a touchdown for Newport. So right off the bat, making Somersworth pay for that fumble by Menz, and they're in the end zone for yet another touchdown. That's Lawrence's second touchdown of the game, and Newport now leads this one 41-12 with under 9 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
7 on the clock. And the Tigers going to kick it from the 18.
So we're looking to tack on the point after here.
Sharon will do that to kick. Sharon wants this
It's number 45, Tyler Sharon. McNamara set the hold.
nice snap. The ball is down. The kick is up.
Kick is up, and that one looks like it's good. So Sharon tacks on the extra point, and Newport now leads this 42-12. So we'll take a quick break from our YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week, brought to you by La Valley Building Supply. I'm Mike Pizzone, joined by Josh Weinreb of the Valley News. And we see men still on the field, set to return this kick from Newport, although that's going to sail into number 7's hand, who unfortunately does not show up on my roster. Nix misses the tackle, though. Still a nice stop, and that's going to be stopped at about the 15-yard line, so a long way to go for Somersworth as they start their second possession of the second half. But Men's still on the field, on the, kickoff return team, playing defense, playing special teams, starting quarterback. He's doing it all right now.
And number 33, senior Connor Santos, looks hurt. He's coming off the field for Somersworth.
Somersworth can't afford these injuries. I mean, they need everybody
No,
to be.
and they need everybody. You're right. They do need everybody.
Yeah.
And these injuries are just not helping them at all.
Bow is up right now, 13-6 over Stevens. So Stevens is hanging in there.
That said, Newport also, their eye is on more than just a win today. They're looking to get back to UNH for another championship appearance. So like you mentioned earlier, you kind of got to balance the points with the keeping your players healthy as well. So it'll be interesting to see at what point do we start letting some of those younger guys in the game and resting, those Wades and Lawrences. Still, obviously, a lot of time to go here in the second half. But
I'd say the fourth quarter is a good time to do that. Play the third quarter, especially if you're up by 30 points, which they are. I mean, this is.
I would absolutely love to see Stevens playing here next.
So an incomplete pass on first down. It's going to set up a second down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Newport defense in the second half so far is looking like the defense we saw in those first two Somersworth possessions of the game. Menz takes the snap in the shotgun, tries to get to the outside, rounds the corner, and has a nice gain, maybe 5-6 yards. So got to give Menz a lot of credit.
That guy is getting beat up.
Yeah.
Every single play. And he's doing the whole quarterback option thing. I mean, that guy's getting hurt.
Yeah.
And especially if he's hurting out there and he's still going out after those holes and still making plays. I mean, this is very admirable from a senior leader here.
So 3rd down and 4. Menz once again takes a snap in the shotgun. He's going to keep it beyond the line of scrimmage. Looks like he may be a little short of the first down, but once again, another hard hit just dragged to the ground. That was number 10, John Hogan, on the tackle for Newport, just throwing Menz to the ground. And that's going to give Somersworth, set him up at about a 4th down and 1, so not exactly the field position where you're going to think about going for this, or at least conventional wisdom says that. But with this kind of deficit, I don't know. It looks like they're going to go for it. This is a tricky call. I mean, if Newport stops Somersworth here, that's going to give Newport great field position.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Menz kept it.
Still fighting for that yard.
Oh, yep,
Well,
okay.
they got it.
Yep, they're going to get it. But talk about a gutsy call. I mean,
You have to do that. At this point of the game, you're down by 30 points. Your offense has slowed to a crawl. That's a call you have to make, and especially when you're on your 25.
Yep.
I mean, you have to. And if you don't get it, then the game. It's almost do or die for Somersworth here. It almost feels like it's do or die.
Yep. But no need to second guess. They got the job done, and they got a first down. So,
Yeah.
job well done by Menz. As he once again lines up in the shotgun, takes a snap, and he's going to keep it, but nothing there, and kind of just falls down. Loss of 2 yards. It's going to bring up a second down and 12. I think he kind of just lost his footing and just gave himself up there, knowing he wasn't going to be able to get anything there.
Update from around Division 3. Stevens is down 13-6 to Bow. To Bow? Is that they're playing?
Yep, that's
yeah.
that. Yep.
Thought I was right. Thanks to our friend Chris Doherty, Eagle Times.
It's actually a rematch of a championship game of a couple of years ago from when they first converged down to 3 divisions. Men's once again on the keeper. That's going to be a gain of probably 4 or 5 yards. Still going to bring up a third down and long, though. Yeah, there's a lot going on in high school football today with Lebanon and Kearsarge also in action.
Yep.
Over in Division 2 tournament.
And it's funny because, especially for teams like Lebanon and Stevens. I'm on covering Sunapee soccer and Sunapee volleyball last night. I'm on Sunapee mode right now. But Lebanon and Stevens, they're two teams that have struggled, and you can put that in bold.
Yeah.
Struggled hard to end their seasons. And, you know, each team has their weapons. They have their game plan. It's pretty solid, but for whatever reason, those two teams have struggled down the stretch, and these are big first-round matchups for them.
Well, I was surprised when you read that Stevens score, and I know earlier they were losing just 7-6. So,
yeah.
Hey, hanging their own against a very, very good Bow team. As Somersworth.
And this is another fourth down conversion. This is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, still, you know, taking their time getting these first downs. Time continues to wind down, and inside 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. But
the one thing that Somersworth is missing here is the big play.
Right.
They need that big play to really punch Newport in the mouth right now, and that's not what they're getting. They're slowly, mechanically working down the field, and that's fine. But at some point, they're gonna have to score,
right,
and they're gonna have to get the ball back.
And I was just gonna say, we need to see Menz make a pass, and it looked like he wanted to there, but he was.
That's a 15-yard loss. That's incredible.
Jake Dow, number 44, first to wrap him up, and yeah. I was just thinking, hey, it might be a good time to let that ball, air that ball out, but...
That's a big play the wrong way.
Yeah. Newport defense all over that one. And that is going to bring up a second down and 20-plus. Get the ball back on the 29-yard line now.
After the 11-yard sack of Menz.
So Menz once again lined up in the shotgun.
3:55 on the clock. Back in shotgun is Menz.
Man in motion in the backfield. Menz takes a snap. And he falls. Not much grass over there in that part of the field. Tried to make a cut back toward the middle and just loses his footing. Falls to the turf. And in high school football, that's all. Don't even need to be touched. You touch the ground, and that's the end of the play. So,
speaking of Lebanon and Wyndham are all tied up at 7 late in the first half. Division II playoffs.
That would be a big one. Could set up a potential rematch between Lebanon and Kearsarge in the second round. That would be a fun game to see.
That's via our my boss, sports editor of the Valley News, Greg Fennell.
So thank you to the Valley News for those updates.
Back to pass again, and he's going to be sacked.
Ooh, wow. Fumble. Looks like number 57 for Newport might have fallen on that. We'll see if they rule it down. Tyler Hall. Looks like he's going to come up with that ball for Newport. That's him, number 57, Tyler Hall. Great heads-up play.
That is brutal. Because you think about it, how much time did they take off the clock just
A
marching
lot.
down?
Oh, yeah.
Just getting 2 first downs.
Yep.
And you back up, you lose 15 yards on that sack, and then Menz falls, he loses some more yardage, and then he fumbles, and now Newport is on their own 15. They're on Somersworth's 15.
You're exactly right. I mean, probably just about 4 minutes on that drive that got them all of maybe 10 net yards.
Yeah.
And then they cough it up, and Newport immediately in the red zone as this pitch goes to Wade. Wade makes a nice spin move, gain of about 5 yards on first down. But absolutely right. I mean, and again, we got to give Menz a lot of credit for sticking in the game and continuing to fight. But 2 fumbles, obviously, not playing.
He's not 100%.
Exactly.
No way he's 100%.
So the clock inside 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Newport set up on the 9-yard line, facing a 2nd down and 6. McNamara under center. He's got Wade and Lawrence in the backfield behind him. Takes the snap. Ball goes to Lawrence. Lawrence still on his feet, and he's over the goal line, and that is a touchdown. So C.J. Lawrence finds the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game. That matches 3 from Wade. So both Wade and Lawrence with a hat trick so far. And Newport leads this one 48-12 with just over 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. So, wow. I mean, we talked about it early in the game, that 2-headed beast for Newport, Noah Wade and C.J. Lawrence, and both of them find the end zone 3
you ain't
times.
lying.
I mean, how do you stop this? How do you stop? No one has so far in Division 3. And honestly, I don't know if they can be stopped this year, Josh.
And it's not even just about them. It's also their offensive line. I mean, it's the deceptive backfield. It's the plays that are back there. It's the way that they fake the handoff to different people. It's the offensive line that knows what its job is and is creating holes. I mean, this is just a impressive offensive machine right now. And you're right, nobody's figured this out.
Yep.
Nobody's figured it out. It's not just Somersworth. I mean, the score looks ugly, but it's not just Somersworth. Nobody has figured it out.
And also noteworthy, if you saw on that extra point, that wasn't Sharon on the extra point. That was number 58, Mariah Chase, converting the extra point. She's the starting goaltender for the Newport girls soccer team.
She's quite a story too.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, she can kick that ball. We've seen it on the soccer field, instantly turning goal kicks into offensive opportunities.
Yep.
And just there, converting the extra point for the Tigers. So just a good story as Newport now leads this one 49-12 and set to kick off to Somersworth. So a lot going right for the Tigers today. It's Sharon set to kick this one off. Low lining kick. Very returnable for Somersworth here, but a good tackle. It's number 56 for Newport. Jeremy Sully on the tackle, number 56. So decent starting field position for Somersworth. So they're going to start this drive at about the 27-yard line. But we've said it all day, and it's never more true than right now. Somersworth has their backs to the wall, and I just don't know if they have this one in them, Josh.
I'm not sure they do either. And it's not even, part of it is not at their fault. Like I said before, I mean, Somersworth isn't the only team that's lost to Newport like this. This year, Newport has beat up teams like this all season long.
That's exactly right. Teams with better records than a 4-4 record at that.
That's true. And you know what? When your go-to playmaker is playing hurt, and you have, I mean, it feels like almost that Somersworth has everything working against it.
Which wasn't the case earlier in the first half when they
and they, you know what, they looked good. Those two offensive plays. I mean, when Mentz was on his game and he got those big runs, and Mills was doing his thing, they looked good. Their offense looked good. But for whatever reason, I mean, Newport is just a better team.
Yep.
And we can say that about a lot of teams in Division 3. Newport is just a better team.
They're a better team, and quite honestly, this is a football-rich, historic town. I mean, these teams in Newport over the years, a lot older than I span, have been winning state championships. So there's a big, long-running tradition.
And you know what? Guys like the offensive line on the offensive line and guys like C.J. Lawrence, they've been here for a long time, and they've played a lot of football for this program.
So Menz with the keeper there on third down, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. So when we come back from the break, we'll have fourth quarter action from our YCN Game of the Week.